Hello everyone, welcome to this video where we are given a graph and some lines, okay? So to help us to be able to visualize this particular question, I will first start off with drawing the lines on the graph as well as indicating the coordinates. That will help us a lot, alright? So for the first part, I would also like to just color code the lines so that it's easier for everybody to see later on. Okay? So for WX, I'm going to start to draw the lines now. And I'm going to just focus on the lines so that it's neater and easier. And this will be the first line. And next, I'm going to draw the other line will be my blue line, XY. The green line for my XZ. That will be my green line. And my YZ, that will be my purple line. Oops. Okay. Then I'm also going to just indicate the coordinates so that it will help us to find gradient later on. So for my W, it will be 3. Y coordinate is 5. For my X coordinate is -2. Y coordinate is 1. Y would be 3 for X, 1 for Y, and my Z is 3 and -4. With that, we are all ready to start finding out our gradient as well as the equation for the respective lines. Okay? And using the formula gradient M equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to just look at the red color line and I'm going to look at the y2 minus y1. So I will have 5 minus 1 in my working over 3 minus -2. And that will give me a value of 4 over 5. Okay? And for the equation, now that we've gotten the gradient M, the y-intercept, C is the y-intercept, which is the point where it cuts the y-axis of this line. So I'm going to zoom in of this red color line. And I saw that it actually cuts the y-axis at 2.6. So 2.6 is also in improper fraction. It will be 13 over 5. And therefore, I've successfully gotten my C for my equation of WX line. So the answer will be y equals to 4 over 5x plus 13 over 5. Or you could also rewrite 4 over 5 as a decimal which is 0.8x. 13 over 5 is 2.6. Okay, these two are the acceptable answers. So as a small conclusion to this question, right? First, we must find the gradient. And the gradient is the number in front of x, represented by the letter m. So we can write it as fraction or decimal. And then we can, from the graph, find the y-intercept, which is represented by the letter c. And the last thing to note is that for the whole equation, if you write fraction, the whole equation must be written in fraction. If you chose to write it in decimal for the values, then the whole equation you must write it in decimal. Alright, let's practice for the next line, the blue color line, xy. And of great interestingly, we have a horizontal line. And can you all remember what is the gradient for horizontal line? Yes, for all horizontal line, the gradient equals to 0. Okay? And in this case here, now that I've gotten my 0 as my gradient, again, the y-intercept is the point where it cuts the y-axis. And in this case here is positive 1. And so, if I were to write it, it would be y equals to 0 times x, positive 1. And anything times 0 is equals to 0. So the final answer for this equation will be 1. Okay? Because 0 times x equals to 0, we don't have to write it anymore. So this will be the answer for part B, where we have gotten the gradient and the y-intercept. The y-intercept is from the graph itself. Let's move on to the green color line. And for the green color line, which I'm going to just, as what we did for part A, I'm going to look at the y coordinates. y1 minus y2 or y2 minus y1. So in this case, I would have negative 4 minus 1 over 3 minus negative 2. And this will give me a value of negative 1. Then I look at the graph again. For this particular line, it cuts the y-axis at negative 1, which is our y-intercept. So y equals to the gradient, negative 1x minus 1 for the y-intercept. So this is the gradient, and this is the y-intercept. And for the last part of the line, yz, what do you notice? Yes, this happens to be a vertical line. And can you remember what is the gradient for the vertical line? So in this instant, it is undefined. Okay? And therefore, for this particular equation, it is a very special equation, since all the values of x in this particular line is 3. Any point on this line is 3. this only applies to vertical line. This will be the equation of the line for YZ. Okay, and that is the last equation that we will need to learn. With that, we have come to the end of this video. So if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.